So things are getting worse for Joker 2. So yeah, they're making a Joker 2 and it's coming out in a couple weeks. It seems that the opening numbers continue to get worse and worse and worse. Of course, definitely take these numbers with a grain of salt, obviously, because movies now in this year tend to outperform these numbers greatly. Godzilla did. Inside Out 2 did by a huge margin. Okay, Quiet Place did too. Most of these movies are likely going to open 10 million highs, around $80 million opening for Joker 2, because they usually underestimate people who just walk into the theaters and see the movies. Because all these numbers are based off of pre-sales, which, yeah, but this movie that some people could go down to 50 million by the end of the month. First movie opened at 96 million, but Joker 2 cost 200 million. Why do they still spend? Why do they keep spending $200 million in every single massive superhero movie? Okay, why is this movie $200 million? Like, what are they putting in this movie to give it $200 million? Is it because they wanted to give Lady Gaga millions of dollars? I'm just wondering, how do these movies cost $200 million? Okay, Twisters, that makes sense, but Joker 2? This has to be the biggest waste of money I've ever seen. Okay, we have movies like Godzilla Minus One looking so amazing, meanwhile costing almost nothing to make. Okay, Godzilla Minus One cost like no money to make, and that movie looks better than a lot of modern movies. It's just, are they really throwing? Are they really trying to throw money at the fire? Okay, and of course, I think the reason why I was saying this is because the critics didn't like it. Like, who cares? No one cares if the critics like a movie or not. Okay, no one cares anymore. I don't know why they make it out like, oh, the critics don't like a movie, so it's gonna do poorly now because the critics. No one gives a crap about what the critics say anymore. Okay, Despicable Me 4 made money despite having a bad score by critics. Godzilla did well. Kung Fu Panda 4 did well despite every YouTuber saying the movie was mediocre. Okay, or let's not forget the Mario movie made $1 billion, despite the critics saying the movie was garbage. Okay, because they didn't like the story of the movie because it was too simplistic or something like that. Okay, when are we gonna realize that critic scores do not matter? They do not matter. Okay, they do not matter. Okay, the critics can give a movie like I'm just glad to see the day if Steel Percent Rotten Tomatoes movie gets the biggest $1 billion and everybody loves the movie. So that'll be the day when Rotten Tomatoes is completely irrelevant. Obviously, we might regain to that point too. Like for example, Godzilla had like a 50% and everybody and all the people went to go see Godzilla anyways. Okay, this movie might overperform massively like Godzilla, but $200 million, really? Well, when will they learn the lesson about this stuff? When will they learn the lesson that they need to stop spending so much money on these movies, okay? They need to stop spending so much money on these movies. For example, Twisters, the movie made a lot of money domestically, but no one went to go see the movie internationally. It made very poor, little money internationally. The movie probably didn't need to cost $200 million to make. That's saying, okay, as well. But if this movie actually does flop, the critics will have a heyday about this movie. But again, I've been saying this for the past couple of years. Why did we put Lady Gaga in this movie for some weird, strange reason? I'm not a big fan of her, but... Or, why is this movie a musical? Why are we making the Joker sequel a musical, okay? Why is this movie a musical? Like, who asked for Joker 2 to be a musical? No one did. No one asked for Joker 2 to be a musical, as well. It's Pim's retailers are throwing behind those of Marvels and Flash, which is not good. But again, a lot of people might just, they're underestimating, of course, people who, these so-called projections. Usually you have to, if people do like walk-in theaters to go see movies, because that does happen, they don't, pre-sell. Not everybody uses pre-sales, okay? Like Inside Out 2, they were saying, "Oh no, one movie's gonna make $90 million," and what was the justification based off this? Oh, it's doing poorly in pre-sales, but they underestimated the movie. People going out to go see the movie in person, massively. Okay, they underestimated that. Okay, same thing with Garfield. They really underestimated the numbers for people going out to see the movie in person. I think it's the same thing with Godzilla and Kung Fu Panda 4. They said that Kung Fu Panda 4 and Godzilla will open to 30 to 40 million. Both movies would actually quite overperformed those projections. Twisters was another one. They said the movie only opened to like 40 to 50 million. It opened to 80 million because they're underestimating the people who go walk into the movie to see it. Okay, sometimes they're right on the money, like Beetlejuice. They said the movie opened to 100 million, and they didn't really have any actual hard numbers for that one. But I know they always like 100 million. But even then, they underestimated the movie by 10 million, and basically because a lot of people walked in to see the movie. That happens, and a lot of movies typically overperform these so-called projections. So we'll see. When is this movie coming out? It doesn't say, but yeah, I think it's coming out at the beginning of October. Again, for an October movie, 68 million is still a lot because this movie is releasing at the beginning of October. And October is not summer, okay? It is not the summer as well. But again, Joker still has a problem with two other high-profile sequels coming out, which is Smile 2, which is a sequel to a very successful movie, and Venom: The Last Dance is coming out. Yes, that movie's coming out, and that will definitely 100% make a lot of money. So, Joker is, not really gonna do too well if these movies really eat into this movie's box office, which they probably would. Okay. Yeah, but that's about this video here, and goodbye.